Welcome to a Friday at the Owatonna Today Show, TGIF. Where did that week go? It is the 25th of October, the month. Where did the month go? That's flying by so fast. And since it is a Friday, what we want to do is we want to thank our terrific supporters that make this show possible. Beginning with our premier supporters, they are the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, the Owatonna Foundation, Owatonna Public Utilities, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, and the United Way of Steele County. Our primary supporters are Amy Swain Hearing Centers, along with Coda Living Community and Park Place Senior Living, and the Little Theater of Owatonna. Lots of interlude supporters. Some of those include Abraham Consulting Technologies, Brenda Bednar Mortgage, also Glenn Megger and Tim Thomas of the Brick Megger Funeral Home and the Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clare Bridge of Owatonna, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs. Other interlude supporters are ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher & Sons Landscaping and Concrete, also Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubator, Perfinium Financial, R&K Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. And as always, we are in need and looking for more underwriters of the program. If you are a business and would like more information about becoming an underwriter of the program, you can contact our producer, Leanne, at 390-5751. And we have an interesting show for you today. We're going to be talking with members of the United Way. We're going to get a Bremer Bank update on that as well. And then Al Strain from the Owatonna Peoples Press is going to be along to tell us about a day in the life of an OPP reporter. That's all straight ahead, so stay with us as we take this break.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
If clothing catches fire, stop, drop, and roll. If your clothes catch on fire, do not panic and run. This only fans the fire. Stop where you are, drop to the ground, and roll over and over to smother the flames. Cover your face with your hands to protect your eyes and your throat and lungs from the burns. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
The Owatonna Foundation's mission is to support community progress, and the foundation has been doing just that since 1958 in the Owatonna community. By issuing over $11 million in grants, the Owatonna Foundation has helped organizations fulfill their goals in the areas of community, recreation, the arts, and education. Please consider a tax-deductible donation, a memorial, or possibly including the foundation in your estate planning so that together we can continue to make a positive, lasting impact in our community. Preserving the past, building the present, funding the future, that is what your Owatonna Foundation is all about.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are back, and I'm sure most of you know this lovely young lady sitting here next to me. And I do feel the need, I group up her name every now and then. It's Evelina. I've known you for a number of years, but Evelina Angelina, it just kind of rolls off. So once you say that and get it going and get into the Jolie just comes along.
Oh, there you go.
But you could pass for sisters, right?
Oh, there you go.
So
Thank
Evelina
you.
Giobbe, I want to get that straight. She is, of course, with United Way. She's going to give us an update. And then Dave Albrecht is going to also tell us about what's going on with their Bremer Bank grant that they've got. So Evelina, how are things going with the drive?
Actually, well, our drive, first of all, is going wonderfully this year. Our campaign is moving along. We're really excited about it, and Justin's has been wonderful corporate sponsors. In addition to that, we're focusing on the Otto Bremer Foundation gift that we received and using it well. We are kind of coming to the end of our community assessment process. We've completed our key informant interviews with our committee members, all the people with expertise in our community on income, education, and health disparities. We have completed our focus groups with over 100 low-income community members to find out what barriers they're facing, and we are in the process of wrapping up our community-wide survey. Next on the agenda is a meeting with key business owners and leaders in the community, and a town hall meeting for a report back and more information. But today, I think the more exciting thing we have to share, Dave Albrecht is with us, and he's the president of Owatonna Hospital, and we're very blessed to have him as the chair of our health committee, as well as a board member. And his committee has been doing a lot of work, has some ideas for the future, and I'm going to sit back and listen with everybody
he explains.
else.
Good, Dave. Okay, she threw it over to you.
All right, we're on.
So now your committee is, once again, you've been, what have you been doing with the money from the Bremer Bank?
Well, we had actually 3 committees. There's a health committee, a income committee, and an education committee, and all 3 of those groups are working on different aspects of disparities on those 3 topics. And the Bremer Foundation is to help fund some of the initial community assessment, and then next year on strategies for implementation to make fundamental changes in those things. So we're probably using only a part of the Bremer grant, smaller part of it, in this research phase, and next year is when we really sit down and say, what is it that we have opportunity for? So, yeah, our health committee is made up of health professionals from our community plus some minority groups, so we've got a pretty diverse, active group. So I think we got our arms around some things, looked at Steele County specific information in terms of health disparities, things that are in our population that either are problems, growing problems. We tend to have a higher incidence of things. I think the 3 that we really identified were depression, obesity, and oral health, which is a little different.
A higher incidence in Steele County?
In obesity, yes.
Really?
And then actually one other thing we did is we went back to the Minnesota Department of Health and we just said, all right, so if these are conditions we see, where do these things play out in terms of the lower income populations? And we found that the incidence really was even more so in those populations. So a big focus of the whole piece is to target disadvantaged populations and try to find root causes of how they can turn their lives into something beyond where they are today.
Now, some of the study has been going on for a year total, hasn't it? The past year you've been doing that?
It's close to a year now that we've been doing our community assessment. I think Dave touched on something important, and that's that we received 2 years of funding from the Otto Bremer Foundation. The larger piece of that will be to implement a community-based strategy to address one or more of these disparities. And our guess is if you're looking at health, as Dave said, being low income plays a part in being able to have good health or not. What are the barriers people are facing? What can we change in our community that will create opportunities? We're not trying to start a new program. We're trying to create opportunities for people to be healthy.
Who determines the strategies?
Well, my committee is charged with coming back with recommendations, and then they would be looked at in light of what the income and the education committee come back with, and then the United Way Executive Committee and Board will kind of look for the, they'll look for the commonality. Is there a common theme amongst all 3? And I know there are ties between them, that things that affect income, education, and health simultaneously. And that's the type of thing we're really looking for. Now, we might not find just one thing. We may find different things. But I think the exciting thing, especially in the health committee, is the fact that we know there are multiple groups out there working on things that are to impact health.
Right.
I think what we tried to do when we set out on this strategic plan is to have United Way to be the convener, the coordinator of multiple resources that are already being focused on the community, and to bring those all together so that we actually can make meaningful change. So my committee looked at health, and those 3 topics, all 3 are very significant, and I think there's a health literacy issue that is emerging, which is partially education. But just knowing, because obesity is driven by eating habits and exercise.
And stress. Right?
Yeah, and people think exercise, they got to go to the gym. No, you don't. You just have to go and walk. I mean, that is a big factor. So I think we're trying to look at this in terms of what can we do from a fundamental lifestyle change, simple things that really make a big difference. So, today's world, everything is convenience. You don't have to get up to change the TV channel. You don't go to the corner grocery. You get in your car and you go everywhere. We
Kids
want
don't
people
go outside and play ball anymore. They
you
just
want
sit and
people on bikes. You want
text,
people walking, no matter your age, and especially as you age, it even becomes more important.
There are some exciting things that are happening in other communities around the country that are impacting health in a positive way. So, for example, in Minneapolis, they have incorporated farmers markets, and because they do, they're able to take EBT cards from poor people who are getting food stamps, and so that encourages them to buy fresh food. Other parts of the country, there's a match. So if you use your EBT card to buy fresh vegetables, you can get the next bunch of fresh vegetables for 50% off. Again, encouraging people to eat well. It's a simple, fundamental change we can make. How do we move from, farm to table in more institutionalized settings, like in our schools or senior nutrition, congregate eating? How do we change how we're providing food to people and teach them how to eat well? And I think what Dave said is really important. I have 2 dogs. I don't have to go to the gym. All I have to do is take them out as much as they need to.
Yeah. But, don't you find a lot of it has to do to, you have to change your taste. You're so used to, a lot of the fast food, it tastes good. And you have to change that too, besides, your habits and what your availability for good food is.
I think one of the things we found is once people have a taste and learn how to cook fresh, healthy food, fried everything pretty much tastes the same.
Yeah.
And so, again, you need to create opportunities for people to make different choices.
It's a big job.
And I don't want to leave the conversation without at least bringing up oral health. It's unique. It's not come up before, but just basic oral health has a lot to do with how healthy you are on a day-in, day-out basis. It will help keep kids in school, people working. Improper oral health has significant impact on your overall health. So we know we have an access problem in this population, and we have to take a look at that. So.
Well, you have a big job ahead of you, and hopefully you'll come back and, as things progress, and keep us informed as to what's happening.
Absolutely. We're really excited about the progress we're making.
Thank you, Evelina. Thank you, Dave. We're going to take this break, and when we come back, we've got some announcements.
Hi, my name is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance. We're here to handle all your insurance needs. We are a very proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Coda Living Community and Park Place Senior Living are Owatonna's premier living communities for seniors. Coda Living Community, located on the Owatonna Hospital and Mayo Clinic campus, provides short-term, long-term, and rehabilitative care. It features private and semi-private rooms, ceiling lifts, and spa. Coda Living Community continues the tradition of providing quality care to area residents. Park Place Senior Living is expanding into the Cedarview Care Center to offer enhanced assisted living. For more information, please call 507-446-4946.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson with the Owatonna Business Incubator. We're here to help small businesses start and to grow. We're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Ron Clancher with Clancher & Son Landscaping and Concrete. We support the Owatonna Today Show, and so should you.
we are back. Thank you for staying with us. Al Strain from the Owatonna Peoples Press is our next guest. Thank you for joining us today, Al.
My pleasure.
First of all, how long have you been a reporter?
Professionally, about a year and a half.
Year and a half, okay. And how long have you been a reporter in Owatonna?
About a year and a half. This is my first job out of college.
First job out of college, okay. So are you from Owatonna originally?
I am not. I am from southeastern Minnesota, though. I'm originally from St. Charles, Minnesota, which is about an hour away on Highway 14.
South of Rochester, down there, yep.
Yep, east about halfway in between Rochester and Winona. Yep.
So where did you attend college?
I went to college at Wartburg College, which is in Waverly, Iowa. Majored in communication arts with a print media emphasis. Also minored in history. Took a couple of electronic media classes, so the TV setup in here is a little bit familiar to me, but decided that print was something I really wanted to get into, kind of from when I was in high school when I took my first journalism class.
Okay, so how did you land in Owatonna?
You get to that senior year, you're just throwing out applications and resumes and see what kind of net you can, in as wide a net as possible, and see who's willing to take a chance on you. I got an interview here in Owatonna with our managing editor, Jeffrey Jackson, probably middle part of April during my senior year. I graduated at the end of May. Came and interviewed and, got a job offer, and, thank heavens they were willing to wait the last month of my school year, because I know it's tough when it's not a full newsroom.
Well, and not only that, but it's lucky for you to get a job right out of college.
Absolutely, yeah, something I was very thankful for. I've had people that I went to college with that they had to move back in with their parents, and there's nothing wrong with it. It happens to a lot of people, but I was definitely thankful to have a job waiting for me.
So your official title is?
Reporter. Technically, I'm the city reporter, so I cover city council, which is probably my most steady beat. Okay. I also do, police, fire, our court system here in town, business, agriculture, whatever feature.
Just about everything.
Whatever features get thrown my way, sure.
So we entitled the segment "A Day in the Life." So take us through. You walk in the door, you go to your desk, and what is it you start with first? Besides your cup of coffee or whatever.
Not a coffee drinker, but I do need some form of caffeine in the morning. First thing I do is I check my email, see if there's anything from overnight that either my editors have sent me, or my we have Google alerts set up for Owatonna, see if there's anything that we maybe missed during the day.
Do you have people that might email with you if they see something or they know of something? Do they email you with a tip or something?
That happens from time to time. More so, and it may be just because I'm not, I'm new to the community, obviously, but most of my a lot of those types of stories come from my editors.
Okay.
But most of the time when I come and I have a pretty good idea about what I'm going to be tackling that day. I am the breaking news reporter as well, so anytime there's a fire or a car accident or anything like that, throw on the reflective vest, grab a camera, and head out there. So I've gotten pretty familiar with some of the back roads of Steele County. But I check my email. I also we get daily logs from the sheriff's office, Owatonna Police Department, and Blooming Prairie Police Department. So all three of the law entities here in Steele County. I check those, see if anything looks interesting, if there have been any arrests. A lot of times, probably two to three times a week, I'll end up at the courthouse looking for something related to either a crime or something of that nature as well. Those are always interesting stories to see. Some of our most read stories as well. It's really interesting. You see sometimes you'll see some repeat names appear in the newspaper.
I'm sure all too often, yeah. Now, is there a certain number of stories that you have to have each day, or is this whatever
Generally, we're expected to produce between 2 and 3 stories every day. Not all of them have to be long expose type pieces. sometimes it's as simple, take for example a crime story. Usually, those are, more short, but kind of to the point. It's really just a who, what, when, where, why, how it happened sort of thing. In other cases, I remember doing a story, or much earlier this year, probably in March, where you'll take 2 to 3 days, if not longer, to bring a whole story together that really, touches a lot of communities. So the story I'm thinking of off the top, I wrote a story about how heroin use is on the rise in southern Minnesota. So I talked to all of our local law officials here, health officials, and then I also did the surrounding counties, and that took me probably a week to put
kind of
together.
Investigative reporting in that respect, that would be. So what happens when you have a slow news day?
The nice thing about my beat, at least, is I can generally always try and find something to at least get something in. One of the reasons why I love the cops and courts beat so much is because there's always someone that's in trouble for something or being sentenced for something. And then other times, it's you have to get together with with editors, other reporters. Possibly another reporter's having a really heavy day and they need some assistance with their budget, which is what we call our daily news rundown. Other times, it's very difficult to have a slow news day. We'll put it that way.
There's always something you can find.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And now, especially because there's certain things that keep coming back. There's same events lots of times you hear that to cover that are always there.
And what we try to do, because you're right, because Owatonna is such an invested community, that's one of the things that my year and a half here that has really struck me is this is such a giving community. There's always some sort of benefit going on every weekend. There's always a charity auction or something like that. With those, it's you really have to try and find a unique angle that hasn't been done before.
That's a good point. Yes, but now you're new to the community, so you have a different perspective on a lot of that. It's fresh eyes, so to speak.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time, I am from small town Minnesota, much smaller than Owatonna. I grew up in a town of about 3,500 people, but the spirit is kind of the same, and that's one of the things that another thing that really struck me about Owatonna when I moved here was how small town it feels, despite the fact that we're at 26,000 people. Notice I say we. I really like the community here, but that was one of the things that also I really liked about the community, and I didn't really discover that until after I was here and working every day.
And I've learned too when I tell someone that it's a small town. I'm from a small town as well, and they go, "That's small." I said, well, if you don't know someone, chances are you know someone who knows that person, and that. So
or they're new to town.
A lot. Yes,
and you always know when someone's new to town.
So, what are your plans for the future? You just want to do you like to stay in Owatonna, or do you have lofty ambitions to go to a big city paper?
Right now, I'm not a big city guy. I never have been. I went to college in a small town of about 10,000 people. There's large journalism programs, obviously, throughout the country, but I always think that it's important to I always feel that community journalism, like what we do at the Owatonna Peoples Press, that will always have a place. You hear stories, you see the headlines across the country about how large papers are struggling, and I don't think that's the case in smaller towns, because there's definitely a presence in the community that wants to pick up the newspaper every day and see what's going on, and know that there's someone out there that's in tune to their community and can give them more news in a better fashion than a lot of larger things. So I won't be leaving for like the Chicago Sun-Times or anything like that.
Well, I'm sure, if you're out there, he's going to be busy on the beat. You'll see him around. His name is Al Strain from the Owatonna Peoples Press. Thank you for joining us here today, Al, and welcome to the community. We hope you enjoy many more years to come.
Thanks for having me.
And now, when we come back, we will be giving you some announcements, so stay with us.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, I'm Kristen Selentine, and I play Judith.
And I'm Cody Jensen, and I play Simon in LTO's current production of Hay Fever, directed by Kathy Rush and sponsored by Wells Fargo.
Performances of Hay Fever will be held Friday and Saturday, October 25th and 26th at 7:30 p.m., with a matinee on Sunday, October 27th at 2 p.m.
And again the following Thursday through Saturday, October 31st and November 1st and 2nd at 7:30 p.m.
Tickets are available at the LTO box office by calling 451-0764. Don't miss LTO's production of Hay Fever.
Okay. There you go. We do have some announcements to pass along, and we do want to mention that today is the deadline for the Owatonna Foundation's non-traditional scholarships for technical majors at a technical or community college. Now, to be eligible, you need an Owatonna mailing address or work at an Owatonna business and graduated before or with the class of 2013. And you can get an award from anywhere from $500 to $3,000. As I said, today is the deadline, so if you know of somebody or if you've just have heard about for the first time, you need to contact Jill Holmes at 455-3059. That number again is 455-3059. The Owatonna Hospital blood drive is open to community members. It's coming up on Thursday, October 31st. Area residents are invited to donate blood at the Owatonna Hospital on the 31st. The American Red Cross will be on site at 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. in the Vision Conference Room, 1489, and volunteers from the hospital's auxiliary will help you with registration. To schedule an appointment, you do need to contact Jenna Herzog at 507-977-2778 or email jenna.herzog@allina.com. Donors can also register on site as well. And again, that is Thursday, the 31st. And don't forget, Meals of Hope is a community meal for anyone that may need a hot meal, and it will be served on Sunday evenings from 5 until 6:30 at Trinity Lutheran Church. If you need more information or a ride, you can contact Trinity Church at 451-5240. That number again is 451-5240. We want to thank you for joining us today and this week. Shelley is going to be with you on Monday. Join her then for Kathleen Segna is going to be along. She is the new principal at St. Mary's. And then Marcy Halverson of Dream Day Bridals will be Shelley's guest. And that's all coming up on Monday. In the meantime, we hope you have a great weekend as the leaves are flying and Halloween is approaching. And we hope to have you back here on Monday. For Leanne Out, I am Betty Johnson, and this is the Owatonna Today Show.